Welcome back to the workshop. Come to find out people like unboxings and testing of new product. So today we're going to do another cheap eBay tools video. Now today I have 5 with me. I have only opened the packages. I have not actually looked at any of these. So we're going to dive right into it and look at all 5 of these. Now I had 2 other ones that I had ordered in the past. Now, these all were ordered way back when I did the other video, but much is the risk when you take when you order things from China, those 2 never showed up and I ended up having to refund those purchases. So going forward, if you are going to look for any of these items and order them for yourselves, just know that sometimes they don't show up and it's a risk you take from ordering from China. Without further ado, let's get into it and give the people what they want. I'm going to try a little bit of a different angle this time around. That way you don't have to look at my ugly mug. So, obviously, some of these, when I opened the packages, you could already see straight away which ones they are. I haven't opened them or looked at them in any way. I decided to wait for the video, even though I've had them sitting around for quite some time now. So, I guess the obvious place to start is with the ones I know which one they are already. So, I'm going to start in this direction and work my way over. First up, what we got is an EDC Keychain Scissors. First glance, I can tell they did not fare very well on the trek over here. I can already see some rust spots on this, which is a little concerning, but either way, we will just continue on. So after examining a little bit, it looks like it's got a little bearing which holds these in place. So it looks like you got to pull that in order to do it. Kind of makes me feel like I'm pulling a fire extinguisher. And we can see that the scissors are spring-loaded. So those just shot straight open. It's got some nice tension on it. They're kind of small, so it's a little hard to work with, and I can already see that the 2 handles run into each other if you're not holding it correctly. But how well do they cut? Not very well, which is a little disappointing. I can see that the handles run into each other, so they don't sit very well. It looks like this screw in the center might be a little loose, so I wonder if I tighten it, if I could get it to work properly. So I'm going to go ahead and try and do that and see if that changes anything. So there are 2 sides to every coin. The upside is, I think I only paid about 70 cents for this. And I've got it to cut now. The downside is the handles are still misaligned, so it doesn't close all the way. So if you don't open it past that, I think these would still work just fine. Is it a good idea? Yeah, in theory. In practice, I don't think it's very good. I would not recommend buying this if you come across it. Not only does it not cut well, they're not aligned, they're kind of bent, but the screws are actually not threaded very well, so it gets loose even after just a couple of uses, and I don't even know if you can see that gap, but I'm not really putting much force on that. And I tightened that down as far as it would go. So, this, bust. But what do you expect for something cheap? That's the whole point of this. See if it's worth it for the price. So, moving right along, let's go to this way. This is called the Getaway Driver. It is a Torx tool. Now, just like the other videos, I picked these based off of the looks and what it says it offers. The scissors, I thought was just an interesting idea. Didn't really expect much, so I guess I'm not surprised in any way. But this one, as you can see, is a Torx driver. So it's got your Torx here, and then it's got another piece here that you can use either as a wrench or also to hold it to add more torque to what you're doing. So what do we got going on here? We got a couple Torx drives. We got this piece here, and then we've got some bits on the side of here. So let's take a look at what we got inside here. We got ourselves a small flathead. Now I can see these are already not the easiest things to get out. So we got two different flatheads. It also claims on the back of the package that you can obviously take this bit out, but you can use that to push out your accessory pieces, which I think is a better route for this design. So there's two Phillips and two flatheads. Now because this bit comes out, you can actually take that and add in your other bits to use it that way. Which they don't lock in, which is kind of unsettling. I think it's because this has an extension on the bottom part of it. But you can use it that way, or you can take them out and just use them in the driver. The ball bearing helps hold them in, and then you've got that. Or you can just go straight to the bottom side here with this bit, and that gives you extra torque. It also has a bottle opener, which, to be honest, I could care less about. It's more of the tools that I'm looking for. It feels well made, even though it was very cheap, but it also has a little light on it, which is also nice. It's always nice to have a little flashlight in your pocket. So really that's all there is to this one. Would I carry it around and use it? Yeah, it doesn't feel flimsy, it feels well made, and I believe this one was just shy of $2. Good buy for the money. Moving right along, I think I know what this is, but I have not opened the box. This one here is another carabiner style, but it claims to have 20 different tools on it. It says 20-in-1 pocket tool. So right off the bat, you can see that it's got a file. This looks like a diamond file. And then it's got a multi-spanner across here, which looks like it's got three different sizes. You can use the carabiner part as a bottle opener. So what are we at right now? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you count the carabiner. It's got two more hex here. So 6, 7, 8. Got yourself a pry bar with two different flatheads as the claw, if my camera will focus here. Nail puller on the edge here. There's a ruler on the side. Looks like you've got another miniature flathead, and this thing rotates, so it makes it easier to get to these parts. Phillips, another Phillips. This is for nails, cleaning under your nails, and a wire strip right here, which uses in conjunction with this razor blade underneath. So you flip it to there and that'll strip your wires. A knife if you count the razor blade. And I think that about covers it. Oh, they claim this is a box opener. I can't see that working very well. Maybe it'll cut through packing tape, but I'll have to try this one out. Much like the last videos, I end up carrying each one of these for a little bit of time just to see how they are, just to get a good feel for them. This one was $1, I believe. 99 cents, somewhere around there. It feels well made. It's a pretty sturdy piece of steel. I could see this loosening after a while of spinning this around. So far there's not a whole lot of movement, but it is a star bit, so it'll allow you to tighten that. And it looks like you can change out the razor blade. It's got a threaded spot with a screw in it, so you can take that out and sharpen it or replace it with another one, depending on if you wanted to make a blade or if they offered them. I never looked that far into it, but I would say it's worth it for $1 just to have something to carry around. It's got enough tools where it'll help you get by if you're in a pinch. So I like this one. I would recommend this one too. It feels sturdy, stable, and I could definitely see myself using it. Moving right along, now that I can see everything, I know which one this one is. First feel, this feels pretty sturdy too. So what we got going on here is the same thing. It's many tools in one. When I look at multi-tools, one of the big things that I look at is ease of use. I don't see this being very quick to open up around, and I don't like, right offhand, don't like the placement of that knife blade. I could see you getting caught on it very easily when you're moving this around. I will say right off the bat, it does feel decently sharp. But what we got going on here is we got Phillips, a knife, a mini Phillips. We got a pin here. On the other side, we've got a flathead, a file, nail cleaner. Got a miniature flathead, which also has a ruler on the inside in inches. Yeah, looks like that's all that's on that side, but it also has pliers. Right off the get-go, I don't know that I like the pliers too much. There isn't a spring mechanism, so again, ease of use. There's no ease of use here. If I'm prying something like this, it's not that easy to open it up again. Does it feel sturdy? Yes. For the price, I would still say it's not bad. There's a few things I would change if I were making it. But all in all, it looks well made. It's a sturdy material, stainless steel from the looks of it. And this one was about $1.50, if I remember correctly. Again, ease of use. Spring-loaded, that would be a big one, and better placement of that knife. Now I know this isn't the only one like this out there, so I'm sure there's probably a better one out there if you wanted to spend a little extra money. I think Leatherman had one like this. This is just a cheap Chinese knockoff brand, much like the rest of them. But for the price, not bad. I'd say you could get some use out of it. Again, just like all the other ones, I'll have to familiarize myself with it to make a better decision, but again, it feels sturdy. For the price, I'm surprised. And it holds up relatively small. About 1.5 inches, 2 inches by a little over 1 inch. Easily fit in your pocket and forget about it if it all comes down to it, really. And I can already see that it also locks it in place once you've closed it. Let's move on to the last one. This one claimed that it was a bicycle tool. Right off the bat, it's nice and compact. This is on with a magnet. I could see that coming off in your pocket, which is a little unsettling. But again, for the price, what do you expect? So we've got a file right here. We've got a multi-spanner with 4 different sizes. There's a bottle opener right here. There's 2 more sizes on this side over here. You got yourself a little ruler. This one looks like it's in, oh, it looks like it's in millimeters actually. So if you're buying in the US and you don't use millimeters, maybe that's not as exciting. You've got a pry bar right on the end here. But like I said, this is a magnet, so it comes right off, which allows you to use this piece separately, which is very helpful for those multi-spanners. So right underneath there, you've got a hook, which would work as a wire stripper. It's got a little blade on the inside there. And then you got a knife. feels kind of loose. So I would say I'd probably tighten this down before I start carrying it around, just because I don't want that flying open on it. I mean, ease of use, yeah, it comes out pretty easily. And that magnet right here helps stop it in place. So it kind of locks it where it is. Same with the other one. It rolls right into that magnet and that locks it in place. And then it's also got its own bit set on the bottom here. So you've got, looks like a flathead, a Phillips, and a star tool. So it's not your average bit, it's actually flat, which is why it's got this specialized holder on it. And again, you can use this without having to take the magnetic part apart. But this one ran a little over 2, I believe. And with that, I'm going to end the video here. I always have fun looking at these tools. Not only do I love tools, so it's always fun to have them, but it's also fun to see what you get for such a small price. It doesn't take a whole lot of money to have really nice tools, as I've said before. You can restore them, which most of the time you can get them for dirt cheap. Or you can find things like this, where something like this feels really well made, and I did not pay much for it at all. But again, I'll have to do a follow-up with this, and then give my further thoughts on it to see how I actually end up liking these, because again, one of my biggest things for pocket tools is ease of use, and as you've seen with some of them, I don't see the ease in a lot of it, but from there we'll have to see. I was really excited about this one because it had pliers, and I'm kind of disappointed that it doesn't have a spring on it. Anyway, without that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me which one was your favorite. Leave a comment down below. And with that, we'll see you next week. Bye.